This is the most affordable fat tire electric bike with a Bafang mid-drive motor on the market right now. Now, if you've done any type of research at all into this, you'll know that this type of bike isn't cheap. Let me show you what I mean. The Bafang system is one of the best and most powerful mid-drive motors in the world right now, and a lot of bikes in this category are equipped with it. There's the Freight AM1000 V6 that retails for $51.80 US. The QuietKat Ibex that retails for $49.99 is on sale for $1,000 off, but it's still $39.99. The Himiway D7 that sells for $39.99. And even the Psych Falcon X that goes for $33.99 is equipped with the Bafang system. That's why my jaw absolutely dropped to the floor when I saw that Magician was selling their Atlas with the Bafang system for just a little over $2,000. Actually, it's under $2,000 once you apply my discount code to your order. That's insane value, but that brings up a lot of questions. Like, did they cut any corners? What's missing on this bike? And since it's so cheap, is it actually going to hold up to the trails? And if everything checks out and this actually is a good bike for $2,000, why would anybody shopping for a bike in this category buy anything else? So while I charge this big 52 volt 20 amp hour battery, let me start by showing you how good this bike looks. Cue the B-roll. Okay, let's start by checking out the fit on this bike. Now, for reference, I'm 5'9" and I went with the 17-inch model. They do make a 19-inch model for you guys that are a little bit taller than I am. If you're 6 foot and above, I'd probably recommend to go for that. But this 17-inch model fits me like a glove. I've got the seat all the way down right now and I can reach the ground flat-footed. So while you're out on the trail, if there's anything that, comes up and you need to put a foot down, very easy to reach, no problem. It's got a nice short stem, which brings the bars nice and up close. You could get some taller rise bars if you wanted to, but right now, as it is, like this just feels like home. And for climbing, super easy. You can get the seat all the way up and get some more stretch out of your legs. And now for climbing with the bike, getting the seat all the way up gives me a nice stretch out of my legs. I can't wait to show you guys what this thing can do on the trails. So the Atlas rolls on a set of 26-inch diameter, 4.8-inch wide CST roly-poly fat tires. See? It says so right here. The tires are big and they have a nice steady center channel here, which takes a lot of the road noise away. The lugs are also pretty deep and they go all the way to the side of the tire. Tons and tons of grip out of these. Taking a look at the drivetrain, let's start with the SRAM XS 9-speed derailleur. That's matched up to a 9-speed mountain bike cassette. And finally up front, you get some Bafang cranks and a decent size. Oh, that's right. It's a mid-drive. It's not going to spin. But it's a decent sized chainring up front. Oh, take a look at these pedals. Finally, a brand that put some decent pedals on their bikes. None of these cheap Welgo pedals or even worse, plastic. These are aluminum pedals with some metal pins for grip under your shoes. Very refreshing to see. Another thing that's refreshing to see is some proper chain slap guard here by Magician. Now, they took it a step, but I went a step further. I applied some more mastic tape down here because the chain does get down here. I just wanted to save the paint, as well as I put a layer just underneath here, underneath the seat stay. This is just when it gets really rough and the chain comes up here. It's not going to hit the paint. It's not going to hit the frame. It's going to stay nice and quiet and not chip away my nice, beautiful paint. Man, they thought of everything with this drivetrain. They even included a little chain guide. There's no bash guide here to add more weight. Plus the chain just clings and clanks against it. It causes a lot of noise. This is a first for me. I've never seen a bike like this come with a chain guide. Very nice touch. Taking a look at the brakes on the other side of the bike, you get a set of 4-piston SRAM G2 hydraulic brake calipers biting onto 203mm rotors. These rotors are super thick and meaty, which means they'll always stay straight. Plus, they get rid of heat a lot faster than those tiny little thin rotors. The other cool thing about these SRAM brakes is that they take mineral oil. None of that .4 fluid that's super corrosive and gross to work with. Super easy mineral oil. All the good brands use it. Shimano, Magura, and now SRAM. You also get a nice little adjustment screw right here. So if you have smaller fingers, smaller reach for your lever, you can bring it in all the way nice and close to the handlebar. Moving up the frame here, let's take a look at the linkage. Looks like a typical 4-bar linkage until you see the shock that goes through the seat post. They added another link down here just to make the shock that much more responsive. And they added a little mud guard here so you don't end up with a lot of slop right onto your shock. Let's take a closer look at the shock. Now this is some quality components. Look at this. You get a RockShox air can back here. You can put the right amount of air pressure in here to hold your weight or give you a soft or firm ride. It's entirely up to you. Very nice to see. You also get a climb switch right here to lock the shock out. Don't know why you'd want to do that, but some people are crazy. And then you get a little rebound adjustment here to slow the shock down so it doesn't feel like a spring. Very, very nice. The other thing that's nice to see on this Atlas is proper mountain bike shock bushings in here. If you guys have seen some cheaper e-bikes, all they have is just a bolt going through and the shock ends up super loose. In here, there's zero play whatsoever. The whole frame, the whole linkage, the entire rear suspension assembly is perfectly laterally stiff. All you get is the up and down movement, which is exactly what you want. Moving up the frame, there is space for a water bottle holder as well as a full-size water bottle. This doesn't come with the bike, you got to put it on yourself, but I just wanted to show you guys that a full-size water bottle does fit in here. Guys, take a look at the finish on this frame. Nice satin finish on the black paint, and look at these welds. So clean and so nice. Moving to the front of the bike, here's a shot of the inverted fork by KKE. The inverted fork keeps it super responsive to small bumps as the stanchions are down here. You don't have the whole fork to move. You get guards here to stop all the dirt from hitting the stanchions. You get a super strong through axle with pinch bolts to make sure that your front wheel stays in. And there's even rebound adjustment down here. Let's see what else is on this fork. So up top here on the right, you get a compression dial with lockout. And on the left side, all the way at the bottom of the leg, is the little air valve for the front fork. Same as the rear, you just hook up your shock pump in here. You just pump more air if you want a firmer ride or take some out if you want something nice, soft, and squishy. So we got compression, rebound, and air settings on this beautiful inverted fork by KKE. I don't think it gets any better than that. Moving up the bike, you get some nice, neat wire management. Everything is actually protected. Look at this. Even the standard wires are protected with some plastic wrap. This is going to make sure that no bushes or branches cut any wires while we're out on the trails. Another simple but nice touch. The handlebars are mountain bike style, nice and wide. It's got a little bit of a riser on there. A nice short stem that brings it nice and close to you. Man, these feel great. Let me show you a close-up of the controls. On the right is a really nice simple setup. You get some nice soft rubber lock-on grips on both sides. You got the hydraulic brake lever as well as a 9-speed SRAM shifter. And on the left is the same story. Nice soft rubber compound grip with 2 lock-on collars. You get the hydraulic brake lever. You get a thumb throttle as well as a nice simple remote. Plus and minus buttons for your pedal assist modes. You get a light button here, which tells me that Magician might have a light kit for this bike. Information to cycle through all the information on the screen as well as the power button here. You know, while we're on the light topic and this bike not having it, look at this. There's a cable here with a cap on. And this actually looks like the cable you would probably hook up a light to. Interesting. But we'll keep it capped off. Okay, let's turn on the screen. See what that looks like. Magician. All right. So I don't know how the footage is going to come out. From what I see on the camera, it looks a little bit glitchy, but trust me, in real life, there's no glitch to the screen whatsoever. It's nice and sturdy. Up at the top, you get your time. You get a signal here for the lights, on or off. And it looks like the display gets dimmer when the lights are on, which is nice. You get a battery here with percentage, or you can set this to voltage to know exactly what's left in the battery. You get your speedometer here in the middle, and then using the I button, you can actually cycle through your trip, odometer, max speed, average speed, range left in the battery, calories burned, and time on the bike. Down here, you can actually set the bike in a bunch of different class modes, as well as your throttle on or off. Let me show you the menu. If I double click on the I button, it gets us into the settings here. We'll go display settings, and then you have access to absolutely everything you can change on the bike, from the units to the brightness, how long it takes your bike to automatically shut off. You can set US or Canada. You have different riding modes from class 1, 2, 3, or unlimited. You can basically reset your trip, different size wheels, speed limits. What does our speed limit here go up to? There you go, 60 miles an hour is the top speed limit that the wheel can spin. And then sensitivity, you can actually set your pedal assist modes all the way down to 3, 5, or 9 different pedal assist modes. So that's pretty handy. And then you can set a password, set the clock, and back. So that's it. The information here just basically shows you battery info, as well as if you do get some error codes, you can go in here, get a list, and that way you and the customer service can kind of like, you know, navigate and, you know, troubleshoot together. None of those weird numbers and codes to decipher. Everything's in English. Everything's easy to see. Love, love, love this Bafang system. So that's pretty much all I got to show you on the bike. What do you guys say we take this thing outside and see if it rides as good as it looks? Good morning, YouTube. Today's the first ride on the Magician Atlas. I'll probably call it the Alpha a couple of times throughout the review, but bear with me. So today we're on the road testing the Atlas for speed, acceleration, braking. Actually, what am I doing? This is an off-road bike, right? I'll see you guys in the mountains. We'll come back to the street later. Since this is an off-road bike, I thought it'd be fitting to not do the road test first, but to just take it off-road. Okay, here we go. Time to drop in on our first trail. I'm so excited to see what this bike feels like. I haven't been on a big bike like this in a long time, so it's gonna take a little bit of adjustments. The trails are nice and wet. It just rained. Might still be raining in some spots, but we'll see how it goes. Along the way, I'll probably talk about how the bike feels, but I'm just gonna be focusing on keeping it upright and getting down to the bottom. I'll see you guys down there. Ooh. Okay. Oh, man. A little cable rub there when the suspension was, yeah, see, it's still doing it. Man, maybe I've got a zap strap or something. Woo! Whoa. Okay, yeah, definitely gonna have to take care of that. So I've got the tires right now pumped up to 25 PSI. It says you can inflate them up to about 30. I think 30 PSI for this wet terrain here would just be a little bit too much. I want traction. I want all that good grip these big tires can give. So, woo! So I've got them aired down just a little bit. I could probably go a little bit lower. I'm not worried about top speed here. I'm not worried about range on the trails. Woo! I'm just concerned with grip. What a oh! Oh, what a smooth ride. Hopefully I got a zap strap or maybe some tape. I can get that cable up and out of the way on that crown. And it'll stop from rubbing on that big tire. Okay, drop, nice. Crap. Whoa, whoa. Let's head back to the climb and get a seat back up. A little bit tedious, but we'll get through it. Okay, climbing challenge number 1. This is probably the steepest part of the hill here, and I'm just gonna go throttle only, see if we can even make it up. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, the torque is just instant on this thing. Wow. So I'm in pedal assist 3 right now. Let's go up to 5. Doesn't really make that big of a difference. Let's shift into a little bit easier gear. No, this is the easiest gear. There you go. So I could probably go a little bit faster if I got into a harder gear, but then the motor would struggle that much more. Just the fact that this guy can get up here throttle only is really, really impressive. Because this is steep, man. This is probably well over 20% grade. Your own little shuttle. How easy is that? Now, if you guys are concerned with keeping the bike legal, like as in class 1, right, being able to ride it legally out here in the forests, you can disable all the sensors, the brake sensors, the shifting sensors. You can take the throttle out. You can just keep this as a torque sensing mid-drive e-bike, just like any fully legal e-mountain bike out there. I'm not gonna do that to this bike. I'm gonna keep it as is, ride it stock, right out of the box. I just wanna show you guys what this bike can actually do right when you get it. So, here goes trail number 2. Man. The air suspension on this bike is so good. So smooth. Nice. Woo! New trail work here. Very nice. Don't turn on the wood. Oh yeah! Just sailed over that thing. Here we go. Oh yeah! Man, for a big bike, this is a ton of fun. Woo! And guys, I haven't done anything to this bike other than put it together. I took the kickstand off so it's not rattling around a lot back there, and I aired up the tires. That's it. Woo! A little air here. Oh yeah. Nice. Okay. Little drop here. Easy. Woo! Yes. Okay. Well, off-road challenge, check, with flying colors. This bike is a lot of fun off-road, and that's what it's designed for. So let's go see what this thing's like on the road. I'll see you there. Okay, let's see if she can climb hills with 160 Newton meters and a 1500 watt mid-drive motor. I'm expecting this to be no problem. You guys ready? Let's go. Throttle only. Let's go into pedal assist 5 right now. I'm in the granny gear just to get the most acceleration. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1, go. The front wheel almost picked up. Okay, so in the granny gear, I'm kind of topped out at about 14 miles an hour. Let's go down a couple of gears. There we go. Picking up some speed. The cool thing with the mid-drive motor is that you can actually set the gear that you're in. So if you're climbing something steep and you don't want to cook your motor, just go into the granny gear and then you get all 160 Newton meters of torque. And if you want speed, right? Let's say you're on a flat piece of road. Well, then you just knock it down a couple of more gears and get the speed out of the motor, right? But right now, yeah, easy climbing. I had nothing to do with helping the bike. About 18 miles an hour uphill. No problems whatsoever. Let's take it over to Test Drive Island. We'll unlock the bike, see what it's got for top speed, braking, acceleration, maybe take it on the gravel, maybe take it on the beach. We'll see. See you over there. But just before we take it to Test Drive Island, of course, we gotta see if it accelerates. I always start right here at my lamp pole, and just up ahead, there's a driveway pullout. If I can get to 20 miles an hour, we got a good accelerating bike. So what I'll do is I'll leave it in pedal assist 5. It's unlimited right now, throttle enabled. I'm gonna go throttle only. But for the gear choice, I'm gonna go in gear number 3. I think the granny gear will give us a lot of acceleration off the bat, but again, it tops out at about, 12, 14 miles an hour. So let's go into gear number 3. We might start a little slower, but I know we'll be able to get to the 20 miles an hour. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Still a lot of pickup. There we go, 15 already, 17, 19, 20, easy. And gear number 3 kind of stopped us at about 20 miles an hour. So I guess that's kind of good, right? Like each gear back there on your cassette tops the motor out at a certain speed, right? So if you're trying to limit your bike to, let's say, 20 miles an hour, right? Keep it legal, or 32 kilometers an hour for us Canadians, well then you leave it in gear number 3 and then you know that you're never gonna be able to go above that speed. Pretty cool. What a sick looking bike, right? I mean, I'm a little biased because I'm a mountain biker myself, but this bike has such clean lines, right? And in a sea of mopeds and motorcycle looking type of retro bikes, like it's so nice and refreshing to see a bike that looks like a bike. Love the design on this new Atlas here. Time to see what it's got in the cells. Let's see how fast we can get it going. So I'm gonna go all the way up to power level number 5. I'm gonna work my way through the gears as we go faster and faster and faster. And I want you guys to see if you notice that the motor will actually cut off as I'm changing gears. And that's a safety mechanism for the motor and the whole electronics. What it does is as soon as it notices that you shift, right? See, look, there's a little shift box here. Hope you guys can see, right? So as soon as the shifter shifts gears, the power level on the motor drops so that it doesn't break your chain. So it's really, really nice and handy to have. In fact, I think with 1500 watts in the mid-drive here on the Bafang motor, it's kind of necessary. You guys ready? Let's go throttle only. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. It's like I'm shifting a motorcycle or something. $25. Still got a couple more gears. Let's go. Okay, I'm out of gears now. 31, 32. Yeah, I got to about 32 miles an hour. Now, the screen shows green. I seem to remember Bafang having a red screen. Let me dive into the owner's manual, see if there's a way to make the screen red, go into turbo mode, just to see if it's an option here on this Atlas. Okay, so I've gone onto YouTube. I've seen other reviewers put this system into sports mode, which goes red. But for some reason, when I do that, I just hold all they do is hold the plus button, and then the system goes into red, goes into sports mode. Mine's not doing that. And I don't know why. I've gone into the menu, which is super easy. Go into the display settings here. No, like, you know, I've got unlimited mode, throttle enabled. You know, maybe they've taken the sports mode out for some reason in my model. Who knows? Maybe that's the way they're going forward, which would make sense. I mean, I don't see an eco mode. I don't see anything that says that the bike's in, you know, low power mode. It just says unlimited and throttle enabled. And I've set the top speed at 60 miles an hour. We got up to about 32 miles an hour, which is still very, very fast and faster than most places allow e-bikes to go, right? So it's not a speed monster like the Alpha at 50 miles an hour, but this definitely is more suited towards the off-road and just high torque. Let's see what the Atlas is like to pedal. First and foremost, I gotta point out that I am super stoked to finally see a brand to put some decent pedals on there, especially a bike that's designed to go off-road, right? Your shoes are gonna get dirty, messy, muddy, and to get a set of pedals that actually has some metal spikes on it is really, really refreshing. But we've got a full cassette of gears here, a decent sized chain ring. Let's see what the Atlas is like to pedal. The other cool thing you can do with this bike is, of course, raise the seat. So let's get a little bit more range so we can stretch our legs out. And just like I usually do, I'm gonna go without power. So right now I'm in the granny gear, easy. Like, it's just like pedaling a mountain bike. Like, I could, you know, drop a couple of gears. I mean, yes, it's heavy, but I'm on flat ground right now. There's absolutely no problems pedaling this bike, even without power, right? So if there's something that goes horribly wrong with the bike's electronics, you lose your battery somewhere, you can still pedal this bike, no problems. But it's an e-bike, right? Let's go up in power modes. There we go. Nice thing is with this thing is it's a torque sensor, right? So as soon as I put pressure on the pedals, I get instant power. It just feels so natural, right? As soon as there's tension on the chain, I'm getting power, right? If I pedal lightly, it's just gonna give me a little bit of power. If I put more tension, it's just gonna give me more power. Really nice. Let's go to 2, drop a couple gears. (18, 19 miles an hour). Let's go to 3. Drop some more gears. Here we go. 25, 26, 27, 28. Let's go to 5, dump the gears. Here we go. 33, 34, 35 miles an hour. Woo! Oh man. So there you go. That's how you're gonna get top speed out of the Magician Atlas. Raise the seat, put some power down, and pedal, damn it! Okay, so as we pedal our way to go get set up for the braking test, I just want to give you guys my first impressions here on the Magician Atlas. I'll probably say it a few times in this review, but man, like, this bike is like to me, is the epitome of versatility, right? If that makes any sense. This bike can do anything, right? As you get it, yes, it's got mountain bike frame, mountain bike suspension, mountain bike brakes, big fat tires that'll take you anywhere. You guys have seen the trails that I rode, some jumps, some roots, rocks, dirt, no problems. If the fat tires aren't for you, swap to the 29-inch wheels with the 3-inch tires that they give you for free right now. Yeah, that's probably what I would do. Bigger circumference will give you a smoother ride, even over the bumps. They're lighter, so this bike's gonna perform better. You know, they just don't have that much weight, that much meat on them to get going. So you're gonna get even better acceleration, even better top speed. It's just gonna be, to me, better overall, right? Now the fat tires are great if you're gonna ride some loose terrain like sand, snow, things like that, and keep them, right? Keep them to the side. Again, versatility, right? This bike looks like a bike. You don't have to, you know, ride it like a motorcycle and, you know, worry about insuring it or not or what. Like, no, none of that. It's got a torque sensor. You can pedal. It forces you to get out and pedal and get some exercise, right? I mean, yeah, sure, you get tired, you got the throttle, but you know, you don't need it. This is what e-bikes are for. They just make the ride that much better. You can go faster, further, all of that good stuff. Now, adding to the versatility is the accessories that Magician sells for this bike. They sell a set of fenders as well as a rack for the bike. So if you want to carry stuff, right, you can get a perfectly suited rear rack system that's designed to go on this bike. You get a different set of wheels, which is great. Mountain bike or fat tire, you choose, right? But overall, guys, like, I'm trying my very best to find faults with this bike. As I touched on earlier in the studio, bikes in this category are super expensive, right? Like, the cheapest bike with a Bafang motor like this, with a Bafang mid-drive motor like this one, that I could find on the internet was the Psych Falcon. And that bike is $33.99, right? That's over $1,400 more than this one right now at $2,000. You know, same Bafang 1500 watt motor. Well, it might not be the same. I think it's the 620 on that. And that one caps out at 1,000 watts. This is up to 1,500 watts on the 510 here. Unless I'm missing something, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please. But I think this is even more power. Same Bafang electronics, beautiful system, designed and, you know, spec to work together. Again, just like on the Alpha, it's a really nice cohesive system that's just, it's not just like, you know, one part from this brand and a display from here, a throttle from there, a controller here, battery, motor, let's put them together, tweak the systems a little bit so that the, you know, the specs work. No, it's the entire system from Bafang put into this bike. Actually, this bike was designed around that system, right? Like, it makes total sense to do it that way. And you get such a better product because of it. I thought for sure we'd get, you know, some, you know, cheap suspension. No, it's a RockShox rear shock. It's KKE suspension up front. It's air suspension, front and back. Finally, a brand that put air suspension on their bikes, front and back. You know, you can set it to your weight, to the type of terrain you're gonna ride. If you're gonna ride some jumps, you're gonna wanna firm up the suspension so you don't blow through it and just clack it out. If you ride just street like this or gravel and you want like a super comfortable, cushy ride, you just take a little air out of the shocks and you get a really nice, like magic carpet type feeling ride. It's so refreshing to see finally some air suspension on a bike like this. Right off the bat, you get quality brand name components on a bike that costs $1,400 less than its nearest competitor. Come on. Okay, time for the brake test. Here's the marker I want to stop by, and I've got about a 20-foot distance to the first marker here. I'm gonna go try my best to go about 28 miles an hour, which is what most e-bikes can do, and this one can as well. Go up to 28 miles an hour, slam the brakes, and hopefully we stop before that second marker. I got big 203 mil rotors. I've got some powerful SRAM brakes with 4-piston calipers. Guys, the brake setup on this bike is what you want in a big heavy bike like this. A bike that's, you know, designed to go into trails and go downhill. And when you got a bike that goes this fast, that's this heavy, that needs to stop, these are the brakes you want on your bike. So let's see what kind of braking performance we get on the road. I'm gonna go back here, turn around, and go face first into that first marker there. Here we go. "25, 26, 27, 28, and brake." Oh, wow. Oh, I can smell the burning rubber. Look at that, guys. Just in time, just like I told you. Good quality brakes, big bike, lots of traction. You know, this is as good as it gets. I've said it before, but I feel like every e-bike should have a brake setup like this. This is what you want on your e-bike. And to find this, again, on a bike that only costs $2,000. Okay, here we go. We've seen it on the road. We've seen it off-road. I'm not worried about this little trail, but I do want to take it onto the sand and see what this Bafang motor is like in that loose sand. So let's do that. Okay, not hit the camera here. Oh, it's wet in here. Just rained last night. Tires are hooking up though. Okay, I'm gonna try to stay out of the mud because this bike doesn't have fenders on it quite yet. I don't know if I'm gonna order them from Magician. Ooh, let's duck under this one. So like I was saying, I don't know if I'm gonna order the fenders from Magician. You know, I do have the Atlas, right, to just ride around town. So I think I'll probably just do that. Keep the Alpha, woo! Keep the Alpha for the road and keep the Atlas for off-road. Why not? Got both. Let's see how it does in the sand. What am I in right now? About 4th or 5th gear. Okay, I want to take 2 minutes and talk about ride and bike quality on this thing. And guys, I've been trying my best to figure out what this bike is missing, where they cut corners, and I really can't. You know, starting from the contact points, grips are perfect, lock-on grips, mountain bike style, mountain bike bars, short stem. That's as good as it gets for me on an e-bike. It's got a comfortable mountain bike seat that's perfect for pedaling. It's got a lot of cushion. I've been on this bike for over an hour now. No pressure points. My bum's perfectly happy on this seat. Pedals, finally, some pedals with some metal pins. They've been listening, finally. It's just pedals that are suited for an off-road bike, you know? The frame is very sleek. The linkage works beautifully. And look at these welds. Like, this is not a cheap frame made in someone's garage, right? Welded by a 5-year-old. These are beautiful frames. They're built in a very high-end factory, and you know, like the craftsmanship shows on this bike. It's beautifully made. The paint is very resistant. I've been clamping my cameras here and there on the fork, on the back triangle, and the paint is holding up. No scratches from the off-road ride. I mean, it's a really nice high-end frame, and it's what you want. The suspension, air suspension, again, perfectly tuned for your weight, for the type of ride that you want out of your bike. Where you want a soft, cushy ride, take some air out. You want to dive into a mountain bike trail and go do some jumps, ride over some roots and rocks, pump the suspension up so that you don't go through the travel and bottom it out. It's perfectly easy to tune. It's got compression, it's got rebound, it's got a RockShox rear shock in the back with all of the settings that you would want. SRAM brakes, SRAM drivetrain. Like I said, I did try really, really hard to find a couple of things that I would like to change or maybe find about the bike that's missing, right? And first and foremost, the things that are missing. Compared to all the other e-bikes out there, maybe not e-bikes in this class, but there's no lights, right? There's no brake light, turn signals, headlight. These are easy things to add, right? You can buy a light kit to easily wire in, or better yet, you know, if it's not something that you're gonna use on every ride, just get yourself an aftermarket light and put it on your handlebars and one on your helmet, right? If that's what you're gonna wanna do. Who cares about the tail light and turn signals, right? You know, if it's a big thing for you, and maybe you look at a different bike or look at it getting an aftermarket kit. I'm sure you can get something on Amazon with turn signals and you know, a headlight and tail light. Easy. Like I mentioned earlier, fenders and a rack. If those things are important to you, they don't give them to you with the bike, but they are available. So if they're important to you, if you're gonna be riding this bike on the road a lot, commuting with it, going on rides where, you know, you may get surprised by a lot of rain and you don't want it splashing up into your face or up onto your back, well, get yourself a set of fenders and that rear rack. You can easily just add it onto your order and then it'll come with your bike. Next is probably something that I would add to this bike. It's a dropper post. All of my mountain bikes have a dropper post on it. It's super easy. You get a little lever right here on the left. You push it in, whoop, the seat goes up to pedaling position. You get a nice stretch out of your legs when you're going uphill. And then when you're about to drop in, you hold it, you sit on the seat, goes all the way down to the bottom, and then you get to stand up. You get a lot of clearance between your butt and the seat. And that's what you need on trails, right? You want your legs to add as added suspension. You want the bike to be able to move under you and not have the seat tap you in the behind and throw you over the bars, right? They put little grommets here on the frame, on the top and near the seat for you to route the cables right through it. You can go with an internally routed dropper post or an external dropper post. It's kind of up to you, but you can route it right through the frame to have that nice clean look. The other thing I would change on this bike are the wheels. Unfortunately, Magician didn't send me the 29-inch wheels. I kind of wish they did, because I would have thrown those suckers onto the bike for the trail ride, 100%. You know, the fat tires were fun to roll around on, but if you're gonna be riding mountain bike trails, you kind of want, you know, slimmer tires, you know, larger wheels to kind of go over the bumps, smooth out the trail, and get you lots of traction. So I kind of wish I had those. You know, if this was my bike, I would definitely order them. And if you guys get in early enough on ordering your bike, they still have those. As we speak right now, they still are shipping the bikes with those wheels. I think they're gonna do it for the first 100 or 200 orders. You're gonna get the wheels for free. So you're gonna have a set of fat tires or mountain bike wheels, depending on what you wanna do. Really, really nice touch from Magician. But that's it. Guys, this bike is mint for $2,000. Range report. So, let's see here. Let's go into our trip. There we go, trip. I'm at 38% on the battery, and I've done 20.8 miles on our ride today. That's not bad, actually. So, you know, obviously near the 25%, you're probably going to drop a little bit of power, kind of like limp here and there. So, you know, if I can get, what, 25, 30 miles out of a 20 amp hour battery, that's pretty good. And that was me kind of like messing around with the throttle quite a bit, right? We did very little pedaling on this ride, so that's nice to see. Right, so $1 million question, who's the Magician Atlas for? Guys, this is kind of a loaded question because it's kind of for anyone, right? No matter what size you are, you're gonna be able to fit on this bike. They make two different sizes, 17 inch and a 19 inch. Whether you want a large bike, a smaller bike, I'm 5'9" for reference, and I went with the 17 inch. Suits me like a glove. You can go up and down with your seat. You can get larger, taller bars. You can do anything to this bike to make it fit you. Nice low standover. This bike will fit any size rider. I think the word of the day for this review is going to be versatility, right? The fact that you can get fat tires or mountain bike tires on this bike, ride it on the road, ride it off-road. You can take this bike anywhere. It's got the torque. It's got plenty of speed. Yeah, it doesn't do 50 miles an hour like the Alpha does, but that's not what this bike's all about, right? This bike's about off-road performance and versatility. That's it. So if you're looking for a good quality, well put together mountain bike brand name components, right? Like SRAM, RockShox, air suspension, front and back, tons of travel, fat or mountain bike tires. You want fenders, you add them onto your order. This bike does everything but high speed, right? It looks like a bike. You know, it's not heaty. You're never gonna get in trouble riding a bike like this on the road. And man, for $2,000, again, Magician is coming out swinging with this bike. I love this bike. I would buy this bike in a heartbeat. So if you want to check it out for yourself, I left a link in the description. Also, if you're watching this on your TV, you can scan that QR code with your phone's camera. That'll take you right to their website. Hopefully they still have the 29-inch wheels available for you for free. If not, and it's something that you want, just order them, add them to your order. Get the fenders, get the rack, because they might run out over the holidays, right? And don't forget to use my discount code. That saves you an additional $100 off your order right now, which is great, right? Every little bit helps. And if the Magician Atlas is not the perfect bike for you, that's okay. Maybe the bike in this video will be more what you're looking for. I'll see you guys over there.